Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SoFlo Soccer channel. My name is Matt. Let me actually move my mic closer to me so you guys can hear me. And we are here with another preview video, a preview live discussion. Inter Miami will be heading back to Fort Lauderdale to host Toronto FC in Sunday night soccer. This is going to be, this is quite a game. I feel like this game is going to be very important and very not important for multiple reasons that we're going to get to in this video, but there's going to be a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Messi, of course. Is he going to play? How long is he going to play? Is he going to start? Whatever. We're going to talk about some players that we should be watching. How much rotation will there be? Because, of course, we have that Wednesday midweek second leg game of the CONCACAF Champions Cup against LAFC. And we're just gonna see like what actually what's gonna come out of this game and what really what should we be expecting. But before we get into the actual game itself, I do want to comment on one particular thing that has been going around social media recently, and that has been the most recent. I don't know if this is a leak. I don't know if this is confirmed, but these images of Inter Miami's third kit has been like circulating Twitter, and I've seen them and I'm like, huh, really? Like I'm pretty sure this is a concept kit. There's no way like this has been officially released. Uh I don't know, but I've seen a lot of people commenting like, "Oh, this is like the cotton candy kit and whatever." I think that they could have done a little bit better with this kit. I mean, like, I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, like, I'm not a fashionista, I'm not a designer or anything like that, so I wouldn't know. But all I'm saying is that I'm not going to be buying this kit and wearing it. That's all I'm going to say. So I just wanted to point that out because that's just been what's been going around recently. Also, what's been going around recently is Obando finally training with the club. It's good to see him officially training with the team. The only thing that they're waiting for now is his IT6. So I don't think he's going to be available. Most likely, he's not going to be available tomorrow. And I don't think he'll be available for Wednesday either. I mean, like, there's always that possibility if he does get it, but it would be kind of a weird situation for him to get it and then have his first game be the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup against LAFC. I think that'd be kind of weird. So it's good to see him with the team. It's funny to see this new kit. Now let's actually get into business. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. Let's preview. Let's discuss. What's up, Circus? What's up, Northern Thai Garden guy from Thailand? My concern is our midfield is going to the second leg without Boosie. So let's talk about that. Let's let that be the first discussion before we talk about Wednesday's game, because we're gonna do a whole preview for Wednesday, right? So we're not gonna spend too much time talking on Wednesday. I want to focus on tomorrow, because I think tomorrow's game, like I said, it has some importance, even though this game is very irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, meaning that in MLS, right, in this season, when it comes to points or positions in the table, this game has no significance at all, right? Like, we could lose this game and then we'll be fine later down the line when it comes to playoffs. That's not the point, though, in my opinion. I think, and Mascherano has said it in a press conference, or somebody's asked him this question. It's like when he was asked about tomorrow, like, what's the game plan? Who are you gonna play? Are we gonna take this game seriously? And essentially, he was like, you know what? Like, we need to take this game seriously because we want to come back with a win, or we want to go into tomorrow wanting to win, so then we can have that mentality going into Wednesday, because it doesn't make sense for Inter Miami to go into tomorrow against Toronto, a team that we are known to beat consistently for the last 5 years, There is no point in going into tomorrow playing the entire youth academy, dropping points, and then like everybody's just gonna be like down in the dumps because we just lost against a really, really bad Toronto side. With all due respect, like in this game is going to be interesting for morale purposes. I think that as everybody's going to want to be in high spirits. I know that everybody's very frustrated with that loss against LAFC, and I think that with a win against Toronto, with the team looking good, feeling good, playing well together, I think it's really, really going to help us in that game against LAFC on Wednesday. We need to rest Messi again. In my opinion, we can talk about that. To be honest, we'll talk about that first because I feel like that's kind of what everybody's been asking. Is Messi gonna play? Is Messi gonna play? Is he gonna start? Is he not going to play? I personally believe if it was me, like if you were to put the decision on me on whether to choose if he should play or not, I'd say don't play him. And I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. There's no reason for Messi to be touching these kinds of games. Shouldn't be going anywhere near these times of games because we all know of his injuries and how he's been getting injured a lot recently and been missing out weeks and weeks and weeks. It's like why would we risk that in a game against Toronto, a team that we can beat very, very easily? We need to be playing Messi full 90 minutes only in CONCACAF Champions Cup, only in Leagues Cup, only in Club World Cup, only in these competitions where it's a win or go home situation, not in the MLS where you can lose games for the next 3 months and you'll still qualify for the playoffs. And I said that time in and time out. Do I think he's going to play tomorrow? Like, do I actually think that Mascherano is going to play him tomorrow? I think yes. I think that Messi will see the field for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I don't think he'll get a start, or maybe he will and he'll come off the bench. We'll just have to see how that works out. But it's going to be very difficult to not see Messi tomorrow. I just have like this feeling that he will play at least 15, 20 minutes, whether that's off the bench, whether that's starting. As long as he just doesn't get injured, he doesn't have any sort of discomfort, I don't care what happens. Mascherano was asked about his availability, whether he was going to play Messi or not. He didn't confirm it. I think I forget what he said. Like he gave another like media whatever answer, asking if Messi would be ready. And I don't think I think he said like he just wasn't going to be ready, or like he wasn't. No, like they're taking it day by day and whatever. Brad says Mascherano has to try Brighton Redondo as the holding DMs for tomorrow's game to see if that midfield can work effectively for Wednesday's game. So this is interesting, Brad, because this wasn't what I was going to say, but I like where your head's at, because what I was thinking was because Boussy's going to be suspended for Wednesday, right? So we're not going to have Boussy. So I'm like, okay, let's just play Boussy tomorrow against Toronto, and then we can just save the legs for whoever we are going to play for Wednesday. But now that you're saying, oh, we should play Redondo and Bright tomorrow just to see how they can connect this year, because we did see that partnership, I think, a couple of times last year. Not that many times, but a few. But it'll be interesting to see how they can play in the midfield together again. I really don't like it. I personally, I mean, like maybe it can be good, maybe not. But it'll be very interesting to see what Mascherano will put out there and see what kind of strategy he'll use, because I don't think he'll completely rotate this team. I think there's going to be absolute minimal, I mean, slight rotation, because I still think we're going to be playing to win the game. Like we're going to be playing to win the game. We're going to see the majority of our players um, be there. Is Ashende still injured? Yes, he's still injured. I'll actually pull up the player status report for you guys to see who is injured and who's not injured. So this has been released by the MLS a couple of hours ago, and according to them, Inter Miami has declared Tadeo Ashende out with his calf. David Ruiz is still out with a hamstring injury, and David Martinez is questionable now. Before he was out, now he's questionable with the adductor injury. For Toronto, they have their key man DeAndre Kerr, who's like a young kid who kind of broke out into the first team to replace, I believe it was Insigne, because he was injured for a while, and then Richie Laryea, something like that. He's also somebody to look out for. These other guys, no idea who they are, but doesn't matter. Yeah, so we're not gonna have Tadeo Ashende. That's gonna be another huge thing. So it's like it's a lot. It's a lot to consider. It's really a lot to consider. Brad thinks that Messi's going to play. He needs some game time. Bushi is going to play. Says Rebellion. Soccer Daddy, what's up? It's going to be very interesting. I mean, like if you were to like again, if you were to ask me, I think Messi needs to play 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. But like other than that, there is no reason why we need to be playing Messi in this type of game. I understand like I said that we need to win. We still need to win this game regardless for morale and for us to be in a good mood for Wednesday. But that doesn't mean we need to say, like risk Messi from making his injury even worse. I think we need to be playing the backups that are essentially like competitions for starters. Like I hate to say this, but like we need to be playing like Chelo at the right back position. We need to play Drake Calendar. We need to play Toto Aviles. We need to play fucking Ryan Saylor. We need to play Noah Allen left back. We need to play Benka Cremashi probably. We need to see, I don't know, Leo Afonso, Santi Morales. We're going to need to see some of these guys. I I still think we're going to need to see maybe players like Delasco Segovia for creativity. We're probably going to need to see Fafa for pace, maybe Robert Taylor as a more like inside forward kind of role. I don't know. It's going to be super, super interesting. And I really don't know which direction to take. I feel like I'm very all over the place right now. Um, because it's just like there's so many possibilities and there's so many things that I think Mascherano can do that it's just kind of hard to say. Soccer Daddy saying it's an important game. Time for the bench players to play at least medium rotation. I think the rest and delay was the problem. We looked horrible against LA. Well, that's also because we had like 2 weeks without a game. And we didn't play. That was our worst game of the season so far. But I think that now that we're back in the groove, now that we've played LAFC, now that we're gonna be playing, that's why tomorrow is so important because it also gets us back in the groove of things. So that's why I don't think it's gonna be full rotation tomorrow. I love this comment, Gressel, Soccer Daddy. Gressel time, dude. I've been saying this for so long. We need to play Gressel, and now we can finally have that opportunity. Dude, you guys have no idea how much I just want to see Gressel start and play and like for the majority of the game and for him to absolutely tear up that wing. I really hope that happens and makes everybody look stupid. But I hope Gressel plays. I hope that he does well because I think that he could if he had any time to play, Gressel, I mean, if he had any time to play, it would be tomorrow against Toronto. And he can show everybody that he belongs on this team. I still have to. I'm very delusional when it comes to Gressel. But what else? Who else do we need to see play? I said Cremashi. Brad brought up that comment about Busi and or Busi, Redondo and Bright. I still don't know how I would run my midfield, man. Like I don't know if I should be playing Busi the whole 90 because we're not going to be playing him on Wednesday. Because at the end of the day, I still would like to have Bushi in the midfield if we can have him. I like. I don't like Redondo to be honest. I rather run the midfield three of Bushi, Bright, and like Velasco Segovia or Cremachi to be honest. And then like I want to see Velasco play because Velasco hasn't been playing well. So I want to see Velasco play so we can give him so maybe we can reignite the spark that he had when he first or for the first couple of games that he had that he played for us. I'm trying to think of somebody else, man. It's like I want to see I want to see Santi Morales come off the bench. I think like he could really really do well in this game. I think maybe we could probably see we're either going to see for defense we're probably going to either see Chelo play right back or we're probably going to see Lujan play right back again. I don't know, man. Rebellion doesn't think that Gressel is playing. Messi, Alba, Bright should rest at least 45 minutes, and Suarez. I think Suarez definitely. Like, how long is Suarez going to go without getting a rest? Like, this guy doesn't get any sort of rest at all. And I have zero, like, I love Suarez. I love Suarez, and he was probably one of the best players ever, especially in our generation. But like, dude, like this guy doesn't get a rest. Gressel ain't playing. Any news on Baltasar and Obando? It's crazy because there is zero update on Baltasar. But for Obando, he's with the team. He's training with the team. But there's apparently they're still waiting on his ITC, and so we don't know. He's most likely not going to be playing any. He's obviously not going to play tomorrow, but I don't think he's going to be playing on Wednesday. So we'll probably won't see him until maybe the end of the month in terms of actually playing. But I don't know. What choice do we have? Redondo is the only choice. Busi can play in front of them. Midfield is alarming. We can rotate for the other positions, but we need to lock down that midfield. The thing is with the midfield, I'm not the thing is I'm not scared of Toronto and their midfield and their defense. Their defense is horrible. They have probably one of the worst defenses in the league, and it's pretty like bad, like as a Toronto fan. Like for the last 4 years, like these Toronto fans have been watching very poor Toronto soccer. um, like their defense consists of like they've conceded 12 goals, I believe, in 6 games. That is really, really bad. Um, Here, let me show you guys like how they could be lining up here. Like this is how Toronto could be lining up tomorrow. This is a te- this is not a terrible team. This is a decent team, but they're playing so bad that literally I feel like no matter what we put out there, it'll be fine. Like if we put Redondo here with Bright, and then we'll have Telasco in either Robert Taylor or Fafa, I think honestly I wouldn't mind playing Maxi Falcone and Avilés in the back, Noah Allen left back, Lujan, Chelo right back, Suarez, and then maybe, or you could put Telasco up here with Messi. Instead of Messi, put Telasco there. He'll probably play. He'll probably play like a 10 role ish, and then you could play like Benka Kremashi or vice versa, like something like that. Like Sean Johnson is probably their best player outside of Bernadeschi and Insigne. Insigne has been injured for the longest time. Bernadeschi is a really good player, obviously. Coelho, this guy Alonso Coelho, he graduated. He played soccer and graduated from my university. So I actually know how this guy plays, which is pretty funny. He's a good player. He's a pretty good player, and I honestly I'm ashamed to say that I haven't seen him play for Toronto, but I'm sure that he's going to be doing fine. Jonathan Osorio is not a bad player either. And then this defense, I don't even know who this defense is. Sean Johnson, like I said, he's a really good goalkeeper. This guy is making his return. I think he was injured. Ola Brihildsen, he's on loan at Toronto for the season, and it'll be very interesting to see what he can do up top. This is somebody that I'm really not sure of. And then yeah, DeAndre Kerr. I think this is the young kid that got injured. And they have Matthew Longstaff injured as well, who is another good player. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. Suarez was probably get more rotation when Obando. Yeah, of course. The thing that Suarez does with the games is insane. I hate needles and pills. Yeah. Miami should start the second team. Second half, main team should have some minutes. I want to see Morales and Alfonso. I really want to see Morales and Alfonso too. Let Bushi create up top. I mean, let's see. Let's go to everybody else. Um, have you noticed that Suarez usually has better stats when Messi isn't on the field? I did not notice that at all. I'm not gonna lie. I have not noticed that. Anyone concerning our goalkeeper, I am not feeling great at all for them. Our goalkeeper? I mean, if Ustadi plays, which I think he will, I'm not worried. I mean, like, there's that possibility that Drake Callender could play. Like, this is a potential lineup that Inter Miami could be running tomorrow. If Ustadi plays, then Ustadi plays. I mean, like, there's no need for Ustadi to rest. The only thing with Ustadi is the fact that he got injured, and, like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe not to further that injury, maybe they'll bench him for a game. But other than that, it's like I don't mind Drake playing, to be honest. Like I don't. I think he's a good goalkeeper, and I think they'll probably play Drake over Rocco anyway. Like Mascherano would choose Drake over Rocco if he had that choice. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm not worried about this game. I'm like, guys, like this preview is not me like thinking like, oh, are we gonna win? Are we like we're gonna win? and and this could be a trap game. Like this can 100% be a trap game. But like this game is like I said, it's mainly for the morale of the players so then they can go into Wednesday with high spirits, being in that winning mentality, feeling good about themselves on their home turf, and they need to get a really really good result. They're going to need to put 3 past LA. Like we can do it. Like based on how we've been playing so far this season, we can do it. My dog wants to get out of my room. Hold on. Sorry about that. So we can do it. And this game with Toronto is like the first step to that. I'm just the only thing that I'm concerned about is injuries, and like hopefully we just won't risk any injuries. That's essentially it. Ustadi is kind of slow to stop the shots. I talked about that in the excuse me. Oh my gosh, that was a big burp. I've already talked about that in the last video when we did the review, like the live discussion with the review against LAFC. And I've always said that about Ustadi. He's very slow. Like he's a good goalkeeper, but he's very slow in terms of his reaction time with certain things. And he takes a lot of risks when maybe he shouldn't. So I'm concerned with the goalkeepers in the long run. I'm not for the long run because I mean, we still have Drake, right? But I mean, like, if Rocco stays, he's 23 or 22 or whatever it is. So he'll learn over time. We can always sign another goalkeeper, sign like a top quality goalkeeper. It's not really a big concern that I have personally, but regardless. What else was I gonna say? I mean, like, other than that, like, I'm not making this an hour long, by the way, because essentially there's not really much to talk about except for the fact that will Messi start? How long will he play? Or if he does play, and what is the team going to look like? If you were like, yeah, no, because I'm trying to think of like the most ideal starting 11 that we can put out there. Because like I'm throwing out ideas, like I was throwing out ideas before. I never really like I'm not really set on like a prediction. Like okay, like this is going to be the 11, but it's I don't know. It's just ideas. I mean like I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly genuinely don't know. I don't the only thing that I am sure of though is that we can't treat this game like it's kind of like whatever. I know I essentially said like this game like I said before like this game doesn't matter in the long run but at the same time we need to win this for our sakes. Are you going to go to the game? I am if my mom doesn't want to go cuz I know me and my mom like if my mom really wants to go I'll give her my ticket and then she'll go with my dad. But I don't think she said she wanted to go to this game. So I think I'm going to be going. I'm trying to go to the game on Wednesday to be honest because the tickets are only like $25 and the only expensive thing would be parking, but everybody I know has work that night and it's like really annoying. So I don't know if I'm just going to go by myself or just kind of watch it from home and maybe we'll just do like a watch along. I think for Wednesday, I think a watch along would be really really good for everybody because it's a huge game. Like this is probably the biggest game of our season so far. So it's I mean, but for tomorrow, we'll see. I need to apply for a media credential. I've yet to do that. I need to apply for a media credential so I can actually get like access so I can like take photos and record and get clips of the game so I can like show it to you guys and use it for like Messi and Co for like media and reporting and all that. What annoys me so much is when Messi plays is that some players feel obligated to pass the ball to him every single time. If Messi himself should include wait. Even Messi himself should include other people and not just his buddies. I mean, so yeah, you're right in that first half of that comment that a lot of people just kind of default pass it to Messi, but it's like you kind of do. Like it's very like, you know what I'm saying? You when you see Messi and like you're in trouble, like give it to him. Like he'll try to find a way out. So I kind of don't blame the players, but I think there needs to be a little bit more trust in like without Messi, I think that there can be more trust or like there'll be more involvement from the majority of the players. Like you'll probably see Fafa get like Fafa was being ignored the entire time. And I think we're gonna probably learn our lesson against Toronto tomorrow and then maybe even on Wednesday. But like we were playing so narrow, so through the middle that entire time in that first leg that like Fafa was completely ignored. And I really would love to see like a change in that. Like I hope tomorrow, maybe hopefully we'll play more wide or try to really, really switch the plays, which is something that like we've done in the past. Like we've played on the widths before, and I just didn't understand why they were trying to focus so much on the middle. And that could be because of the fact that Messi was playing, and they were just kind of trying to run everything through Messi in the center of the pitch. But I don't know. It's I don't know. Trust me, watch alongs are a jinx. Maybe it is a jinx. Yeah, watch alongs bit us back, specifically Miami. Really, the well, okay, actually, now that you mentioned watch alongs being a jinx, I mean, like every time that I did a watch along, I think I did two watch alongs on this channel, and they both went really bad. But not because of the result, but because it just kept crashing. For some reason, like it didn't let me stream the game. Like I couldn't watch the game and stream at the same time for some reason. Like I don't know if it was an internet thing. I don't know if it was just like my computer couldn't handle it. Which is like weird because I don't have a bad computer at all. So I don't know. I would love to do a watch along because I get very passionate. I get very emotional during the games. That's just who I am when I watch this sport. And I'll be like jumping up and down. I'll be like yelling. I'll be like crying or whatever. Well, maybe not crying, but I'll get excited. I'll get very, very excited. Obviously, especially when we score. But I don't know. I'll think about it. I want to do it. I really, really want to do it. But I don't know. Maybe if it is a jinx, then I don't know. I'll have to consider it. But anyways, um, let's see. Have I talked about Toronto a bit? I mean, like I feel like we've talked about it. Okay, I'll talk about Toronto for a little bit longer because I know I talked about some of their players. We'll talk about them for a little bit longer and just kind of what to expect because we always do kind of like a scouting report on them. And then we'll do a final like prediction for our starters. And then we'll do a what's it called? A score prediction. And then we'll wrap it up there. And then we'll focus. And then obviously we'll come back for the review and then we'll do a preview for Wednesday. But for Toronto, apparently, so reading this article that the MLS posted, right? Because I don't watch Toronto football like that. It says here that new head coach Robin Fraser is trying to cook dinner with someone else's groceries. So he's kind of improvising his way through the early part of the season. We've seen a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, and a 3-4-2-1 and five. We've seen so essentially they've played a lot of formations. They've played like Toronto are very all over the place with their tactics. They haven't really settled on one specific tactic or just formation, and 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 none of it has worked well. They haven't won a game all season, and it's probably the lack of cohesion in the team. Maybe the chemistry of the team is very very off. Or maybe they're just not good enough. I mean, like, but it's very hard to believe with a team with Bernardeschi, with Insigne, with Coelho, like I said, with Osorio, and now with this number 9, this like I forget where he's from, but Hildenson or whatever his name is, with Sean Johnson at the in goal. I mean, like it's kind of hard not to get at least something of a result, right? And I think they have Etienne, the Haitian international, which I haven't seen. I don't know if he's injured. I didn't see him in the injury list. So I'm confused as to where. I don't know if maybe he got sold. I have no idea, but um I don't know. It's very very weird. It says here, what else are they saying here? It says here, let me show you guys what I'm reading so you guys can maybe read along if you want. But it says there's no threat of running behind. Toronto have hit only 3 through balls all year as per FBref, which is tied for second to last in the league. Even more concerning, I think that the Reds are down in the bottom third of the league in switches of play when being able to play across the game channel. Like, that was such an integral part of Frazier's best Colorado Rapids team. When they were really cooking, they drag you on to one side, they open up the game up and the attack on the other. Toronto have done very, very little of that so far anyway. This feels like a big mismatch, as we'll see all year. Before the season, I picked Miami to win the Shield and Toronto to win the Wooden Spoon. Neither have given me much of a reason to think I'll be wrong. So, yeah, I mean, like, so if that's true, they only hit 3 long balls all year, and they're tied second to last in the league in that stat. And they're also, it says here, they're bottom third of the league in the switches of play. Then, like, we have that wraps. If they've only made 3 through balls this whole year, we're fine, because that's one of our main weaknesses, in my opinion, is the through ball, the counterattack. When we're caught lacking, when Maxime Falcon is our like stopper essentially, and like we can most likely stop those through balls. But then once we get like very aggressive and Jordi Alba pushes up, maybe even Noah Allen or even Ian Frey, whoever is back there, sometimes we can get exposed from the back. But if they're only hitting 3 through balls this whole year in 6 games or 7 games or however many games we played, I think we'll be fine. If apparently they maintain a lot of the possession too, and they're just not clinical with the ball at all. Like, they get the ball and like they just don't know what to do. So this just feels like a very, very lost team, and which is the complete opposite to what Miami have been, or in general. Like, we've been a unit recently, and we're obviously undefeated. We were undefeated in all competitions, but now we're still undefeated in the league itself, which is still very, very impressive at this point. But the coach's experience, yeah, the coach the coach coached managed the Colorado. It says in this article that he managed the Colorado Rapid team. That was like when they were very, very, very good. So we can't win that way. Messi is surrounded by 3 players every time. The others need to step up. Why do you think Argentina have succeeded so much in the last 5 years? Because everyone does their part. But that's Argentina. That's completely different. Argentina have so much talent, so much quality, and they all play at top levels, and they all don't rely on Messi. In the beginning, we relied on Messi into Miami. I mean, now we don't do so anymore, but we don't have that. Like, you can't compare it. Like, we don't have the talent that Argentina has. What's wrong with Alba nowadays? The guy wants to fight everybody. I mean, you can't blame him. Like, these guys like Messi, Suarez, Jordi, Busi, like, or I mean, Inter Miami in general, we're getting a lot of calls against us. And I've already spoke about it, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but we're getting a lot of calls against us, and they're getting very angry because it's like they can't play. It's not a lot of fairness in this league recently, or since the beginning of the year, I should say. Excuse me, my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, okay. So if you were to ask me, oh my gosh, MLS even predicted their own, like, the guy who wrote this, Matthew Doyle, like, he predicted his own 11 for this game. Let me show you guys this. So this is what Matthew Doyle from MLS predicts the starting 11 to be for tomorrow. Ustadi in goal with Jordi Alba, Falcon, Aviles, and Frey, Busquets and Redondo, Taylor, Segovia, Pico, and Suarez up top. So this the 4-2-3-1. It'll switch to a 4-4-2 or like a 4-5-1, to be honest, because Segovia is probably going to drop deep into that midfield as well on defense. Or maybe it'll switch to that 4-4-2 with Taylor maybe taking more of a striker role, and then Segovia switching out wide. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how that, like, I really want to see how this really goes. No Messi. He doesn't predict that Messi is going to be starting. He doesn't think that Bright is going to be starting. I I think that Jordi Alba probably needs to hit the bench. I think we need to see Noah Allen play left back like for the whole 90 minutes. I think we need to see that again because I would rather rest Jordi Alba and have him fully fit and ready to go for Wednesday. But let's see. And then they predicted Toronto 11. This is a good, I don't know, man. Like, this is a good, like, front. Their defense, Gomi is the only one that I can recognize, and Sean Johnson. Like, these are the only two that I can really recognize that are really good, in my opinion, in my eyes, for, like, MLS standard. This up here is a fantastic. Like, I would be very happy if I had this team, like, this front line, this midfield, these attackers, like, 1,000%. But they just can't do anything with it. They literally can't do anything with it. So if I were to put this starting 11 out there tomorrow, I'm predicting that like we win. There's no way we concede. I think tomorrow we'll keep a clean sheet. I think tomorrow for sure we'll keep a clean sheet. Like this would have to be the game where we keep a clean sheet. I think we might win like 3-0 tomorrow or something. I think Taylor will score if he plays. I think Fafa will score if he plays. Suarez, I think he'll score if he plays. And then if we really, really get good, then maybe Delasco, if he's feeling it, he'll probably score. If Bangkok comes on, he'll probably we have the opportunity to make this like an absolute blowout if we really wanted to. Gotta focus on this match. CCC is done. Yep. Yeah, so we have to focus one game at a time. We got to focus on tomorrow, get the win tomorrow, and then after that, we'll worry about CCC. AZ Rebellion predicts a 3-1 win to Inter Miami. Gustavo says 4-0 to Inter. Soccer Daddy says 3-1 win for Miami. This game really doesn't matter. I don't care even if we lose 5-0. More, like I said, for morale, I really hope we don't lose 5-0, especially at home. But I know what you mean. Like in terms of MLS and all that, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. For me personally, like I said, I think a clean sheet 1,000%. I think at the minimum, we should be winning 3-0. At the minimum, we should be winning 3-0. Messi will play 10-15 minutes. Max, please rest Messi. There's no reason, especially if we're winning. If we're winning 2-0, Messi shouldn't even be warming up. Like, he should not be warming up. I'd rather see Cremacci. I'd rather see Santi Morales. I'd rather see Leo Afonso. I'd rather see Tyler Hall. I'd rather see Sparks. Like, literally anybody, dude. Like, literally anybody but Messi. Like, if we're losing or if we're winning 2-0, 3-0, like, don't even play him in. But that's what I think. We're keeping this one short, and I know I kind of repeated myself a lot, but that's because there's really not much to talk about for this specific game, as the big game is going to be on Wednesday. That is where, that's the anticipation. That's where all the anticipation is leading towards. So I'll still do the post-game reaction tomorrow night. I'll let you guys know if I go to the game or not, because if I go to the game, then the post-game will probably be it'll probably be like an hour or two after the game, or an hour after the game. I think my mom's going to want to go, so I might just like do it as soon as the game's over. I'll just go live. But yeah, and then I'll keep you guys updated for the preview for Wednesday. We'll probably be doing that on Tuesday like we always do. I don't think I work that day. If I do work on Tuesday, then we're going to do the preview tomorrow. And then, yeah, I'll think about a watch along for Wednesday, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this very chill, very laid back, very short and sweet preview, live discussion, Inter Miami versus Toronto, in a game that is important in one aspect and then not so important in another aspect. We just have to focus game by game. We got to make sure that everybody is fit and ready for Wednesday. Nobody gets injured. Team walks away from this game, no injuries, big morale or high morale, and yeah, and then we prep for Wednesday. But thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you are new, if you've enjoyed. Normally we do a little bit more in-depth stuff, but like I said, this game is not really that important in the grand scheme of things. So anyways, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'll see you guys in the post-game reaction tomorrow night, and vamos Miami. Ciao, guys. Vamos.
¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo.